Day 15, Radville BMX 30 day, 30 bike, BMX Old School Challenge. Today we have the Hutch Windstyler 1985, and this is in original survivor condition. We're going to go through this. We're going to talk about what's right, what's wrong, what's totally awesome, and enjoy this little time piece here today, because when you find a timepiece from 1985, it's definitely worth enjoying. So let's get into it. Original chrome frame and forks, 1985, stamped M5 in the serial number. Going from the ground up, we have Hutch Tires. Beautiful tread condition, nice rideable tires in black with tan gum walls. Love these tires, amazing. Skyway 5-star Tuff Wheels. Inside the tires, front and back. Moving to the midsection here, crankset, chromo stamped, 175 millimeter. Hutch pedals with a Hutch spider, chain ring, and 5 chain ring bolts, keeping it together. Original chain intact. Moving on up, we have a Hutch donut seat clamp, stamped Hutch. Laid back seat post, actually fluted, which is really cool. It's definitely a strong seat post. Not really sure the total history on the fluted seat post with Hutch. I'll have to look into that, but it was definitely a very strong, great seat post, and I think it had to do with they just weren't coming with some of the Hutch stamped and decaled components like the Trickstar and others were, because the Windstyler was really meant to be an entry point into freestyle and lower price point. One of my absolute favorites. I think it's really a tri-molly type frame and fork, so it's a little bit heavier, but the geometry is pretty awesome. And I promise there won't be any math in this particular video today, but I do think it's worth pointing out the geometry, and we'll get into that later on in some of the other series, because I like to compare the geometry of the Windstyler with the Trickstar, because to me the Windstyler is a very comfortable ride. Got a lot of knee clearance between the seat and bars when you're cranking this, and it's definitely a good rider in my opinion. In fact, I just feel it to be more roomy than the Trickstar. Obviously the Trickstar is, hands down better and a Trickstar, but I really enjoy the Windstyler as a rider. Really must admit that. Okay, coming up top, the Freestyle Velo 119 seat, also original. Unfortunately, when I actually got this, the clamp was upside down for the seat. So beware if that clamp is upside down and you're seeing more of the seat clamp than you should, that holds the rails in place. That's a good sign that clamp is actually upside down. They can be a little bit of a bear to get on, so you really got to kind of finagle them. But it can lead to a cracked seat, and that's what we have here. So left this seat intact just because really hate to change out anything on a survivor like that, including the seat. So probably between some epoxy and a couple Radville stickers, kind of slap that thing together and hold it back on. But wouldn't want to fool anybody, but it's more, to me, if it can be modified and stay original, that would be great. We'll also keep our eye out for another seat just like it. But yeah, always a shame to change out any part on a bike like this, especially when it's all original, all the way down to the brake pads. So speaking of brakes, we got MX 1000s, also correct for the Hutch Windstyler and many other bikes in the 85 era. Very good stopping power, got the adjustable barrels, and pads look to be original. This bike was really babied and cared for, aka not ridden hard, but it's great, right? Great timepiece. Moving forward, we got the mags on the front with the Hutch tires again, and the MX 1000. This is an FS in the front, so it's freestyle coming through the POTS mod. She actually running the cable from underneath and stopping, coming up through the head tube, headset. Not sure what that would be. I don't think it would be a Hata. It's original on there. You know, my guess would be probably a Tioga headset, but it's got the Odyssey Gyro Generation 1, so it still has the pending stamp on it, so it's just super cool, super original. It kind of blows me away. I'm thinking that got installed at the bike shop early on when it was bought, or could even have been, you know, taken back, but I just don't think it was. I'm pretty sure that would have been, you know, probably set up when it got bought, so, you know, probably got bought later in '85 is my guess. Moving up, the stem is stamped Hutch, and you can see it's actually got the stem and it's low, you know, so this really just hasn't been, you know, tweaked, right? So, you know, not retrofitted. This was actually, you know, childhood type bike where, you know, just has been stored in safekeeping, climate controlled for 30 years plus, right? So it's just amazing to share this with you today. I'm just super pumped about this bike. I just can't get over these Hutch tires in black. They're just so awesome. It's what, you know, drew me to the bike. I saw that because you do see a lot of Windstylers, but very rarely do you see them with the Hutch tires intact, right? And, you know, knowing that it hasn't been restored and it's completely original is just super fantastic to see that kind of history. All right, so the Hutch bars, these are actually kind of like entry bars, right? Not totally freestyle. It always kind of cracked me up because I loved the Windstyler back in the day in 1985. And these were almost kind of like, you know, cheap bars. Very hard to find and come by today. There's so many kind of knockoffs and stuff, but I love these bars. They really kind of remind me of the racing bars, the pro bars. And, you know, you see a lot of times, in fact, I put a lot of my Windstylers together. I use ladder bars a lot, but it's cool to see these original ones here with the Hutch grips, original. We'll show you some of that close-up componentry, and love the checkered donuts. And we got one locking lever and another one MX. So all in all, I'm going to call this bike an 8. I mean, it's just hard not to give it more, but, you know, unfortunately, you're going to have to kind of hold it back a little bit with that seat being dinged up. But this bike is just fantastic. Super psyched and stoked to share it with you today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. It is day 15 of the Radville BMX 30-day 30-bike BMX old school challenge. And today was a great pleasure to feature the Hutch Windstyler 1985. Thanks so much for tuning in, and hope you've been able to subscribe to see the next 15 reveals that are up and coming, and really hoping to make this enjoyable for you all. We just appreciate you checking it out. Thanks so much. Take care.